What is up, guys? William here from fitnessforbackpain.com. Really excited for the second video of this series talking about core training with disc bulges. There's a lot of just bad information out there when it comes to what you should be doing, especially if you have a disc injury. Now, today's video is specifically for disc bulges, and you can also throw in there herniations. But good, smart core training is great for anyone across the board. But I've picked 4 specific core exercises that you can do that I know will be safe and friendly for those who have disc bulges. If this is your first time here, make sure you stay tuned, make sure you subscribe, hit like. I've got a lot of videos coming out just for this specific exercising with disc bulge series. If you currently have a disc bulge, you've been diagnosed, you know you have an MRI, whatever your situation may be, and you're not sure where to go, you're not sure how to start, you're not sure why you're having pain when you exercise, and you're scared to death of making your pain worse, this guide is going to be your saving grace. It's gonna be the best thing that you have going into the new year with your workout structure, with your workout goals when it comes to navigating it with a disc bulge. So if that's you, if you want to have everything I know when it comes to exercising safely and smart with a disc bulge, grab that guide at fitnessforbackpain.com/pain-free training. All right, so the first core exercise that I love to give to those who have a disc bulge situation kind of going on, having some symptoms, trying to train safely and smart, is the crossover pressing dead bugs. Now, what you're gonna do, basically lay on your flat back. If you've ever done a dead bug before, it's very similar. But what we're gonna do here is we're gonna add some constant tension to the exercise. And I love doing this because it really helps, especially if you have some kind of issues going on with small amounts of shearing, you're experiencing some pain. This is really good because you're maintaining a constant tension in that abdominal region. So what you're gonna do is bring your knees up to 90 degrees here, and just like any other dead bug, you're gonna lead with your opposite arm and opposite leg, just like this. But the pressing or the constant tension aspect is I'm going to actually take my left hand, we'll start with my left hand, I'm gonna press it against my right leg, and as I'm bringing my leg towards my head, I'm pressing away from my head with my hand. So I'm gonna meet in the middle and cause some constant tension going on while I'm doing the dead bug. So spine is in neutral, pelvis neutral, I'm in a comfortable position, I'm not necessarily just flattened out. Find what's neutral for you, get set, apply that tension nice and tight. I'm going to drop opposite arm, opposite leg, all the way down, keeping that tension. And as I'm coming up, I'm not gonna let go of that tension until I've created my new tension on this leg. So I'm pressing, 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 nice shift. Constant tension the whole time, press, 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 then switch. So what you don't wanna do is kind of like relax and then go into pressing it and then create tension and then go down. You want it to be kind of seamless. So as you're switching sides, that tension is constant and nothing is changing with your brace or the position of your pelvis. Now I've got another shot I will splice in here real quick of me from the head down shot so you can kind of see what is going on when I'm switching my legs over. Knees are up, taking my opposite hand here, pressing and pulling at the same time, creating that tension, push, push, push. So that's locked in. I'm gonna stretch out all the way, bring it back up. Before I switch, I'm gonna create tension on this leg here first. Tension's on, let go, stretch out. And I'm just gonna repeat this from side to side. All right, so the second exercise is one of my favorite. It's a very basic, very simple exercise. A lot of people kind of overlook it because it's just kind of so, not geriatric, but just kind of boring. And it's the side plank. And why I'm doing the side plank is because we often kind of focus too much on the abdominal area, the front of the abs, and we kind of forget the 360-degree aspect of what our core actually is. So when it comes to disc bulges, this is exercise number 2 for your core. We'll start with the most basic version, and what I suggest you do, popularized by Stuart McGill, how he instructs you to do these side planks, is have your hip setting back. So if you see this, my knees are bent, my hips are set back, and I'm going to slide into that side plank. So now that you have the position set, I'll be here, I'm not slouching here, I'm gonna start and get set before I lift off my hip, and I'm just going to drive my hip forward. Now I'm holding this side plank nice and easy. Not difficult at all. If you're new to this exercise, you'll feel it obviously on this side here, and you're gonna hold that for the given amount of time. Now, to make it harder, same idea. You wanna get into this resting position, get your feet set, not slouching in like this, but get your feet set, hips back, and then you can use your arm to get into the position, and then now you're holding this side plank. So again, this is the most hardest variation of the side plank, feeling it all on this side here, nice and tight, making sure I'm not slouching here or over pressing like this, trying to keep everything from my head down to my feet in a neutral position. Obviously, there's different variations you can do that will be a little bit easier for you, such as putting your arms down here. You can take your leg and bend it like this, so you're kind of taking some of that weight off. Whatever fits you best. This is where you have to come into your trainable threshold or your pain threshold. If this is too hard, but this is too easy, you gotta find somewhere in between that will give you a good challenge, but also keep you symptom-free and safe while you're doing it. All right, so the third core exercise, safe for bulging discs, if you're trying to train your core, build strength, endurance, is the weighted core pullovers. One of my favorite exercises you can do it with a varying amount of weight. You can go heavy, you can go lighter. This is a 30-pound dumbbell. I've done it with a kettlebell before. Just find a way that fits you best. You don't wanna go too heavy or too light, because it's kind of a dynamic exercise where you're kind of using the entire body to get the core worked. So I'm gonna show you how to do it. We'll break it down for you specifically. So what you're gonna do, on your back, get set up. You can grab the dumbbell however you want. You can do it this way if you like to get a really good range of motion with your shoulders. But if not, you can just grab it just like this. And essentially what you're gonna do is bringing your knees up at 90 degrees. So again, like always, check your pelvis, make sure your lower back is not smashed flat into the ground, but it's a neutral for you, and your ribs are down. So you're locking your ribs in, and that's really gonna connect basically from your pelvic floor to the base of your ribs. You want this to be locked in and contracted. A lot of times we'll have our abs contracted, but our ribs are still kind of up. So we're really not getting a good contraction here. Key is bring those ribs down, pelvic floor is on, and you're really trying to just crush this whole area here. So as far as the movement goes, what you're gonna do is, as you're coming down with the dumbbell or your weight, you're gonna start feeling tension and that desire for your ribs to flare and kind of, oh crap, it's getting heavy, and you're gonna be kind of in this position here. The core exercise to this, or the work to this, is keeping this down and locked in place. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna add a weight up top, and you're gonna add movement with the legs to make it that much harder. And you can change it up, and I'll show you a few different ways you can do this. But basic version of this, you can do a one leg drop. Like that, switch it up. You can do a straight leg dominant, hold. You can go out with your arms and out with your legs. Obviously, if you keep the more you keep your stuff in the middle, the easier it's gonna be. So if you're doing these types of movements with the arm down, that's gonna be the easiest. The further out you stretch your legs, it's gonna get harder. And when you start taking both legs out, you really gotta make sure you're keeping everything locked in the way it should be, and you're not allowing yourself to flare like this. Nice and neutral, nice and locked in. All right, so the fourth core exercise that I love to do for disc bulges, disc herniations, safe for these people specifically, are the banded leg drops. So very similar to dead bugs, you're kind of sticking with this theme of neutral spine, getting some movement into the legs and really trying to challenge that lower abdominal area, just the entire trunk area, to keep that neutral position. That's the key thing there, without loading the spine too much with any kind of weight or anything like that. So what you'll do is, I've got two options here. Obviously the thicker band is gonna be the hardest. Thinner band is just gonna be super easy. I prefer, as fast as you can, move up to a thicker band, because you can really feel the engagement that you're trying to build here. So what I'll do is I will grab the band a little bit high up, And before I go, neutral pelvis, ribs are down, and before I go, I'm trying to brace everything first. So don't kind of like get up and then get locked in and then start going and then think about your brace. Think about your brace first. Get that locked in before your legs even come up. So I'm nice and tight, bring my legs up here, and I'm gonna engage, and sometimes I'll even give myself a little bit of a crunch. So I'm not doing like a full-blown crunch like this. It's just a little bit of a crunch this way. So you can even put a pillow under your head if your neck gets kind of tense, but you're getting a little bit of a crunch here. That's just gonna fully lock in that trunk. So from there, what I'll do is once I'm locked in like this, feet will come up, a little bit of a crunch, and I'm going to drop one leg like that. Or that's probably the easier way. You can do the harder way with both legs coming down. A little bit of a crunch. So remember, the key is when you're doing these is make sure you're not relaxing between reps. A lot of times when people are coming back up to the middle, they'll take a breath and they'll kind of drop their legs and then they'll try to contract before they go back down. Keep constant tension. Learn to breathe while you're working. That's a key thing you got to worry about doing, is as you're coming down, you're locked in, go to your end range, stay locked in, come up, take a deep breath while everything is staying contracted, and you go back to your movement. All right guys, so that is it. The 4 core exercises that you can do if you have a disc bulge. Try these 4 out. Again, the theme is neutral spine, trying to take out flexion as much as possible, getting some movement, some dynamic coordination kind of going with the leg drops. Again, start with mini marches on all the my little dinosaur feet or arms, but start with the mini marches on all the exercises that it applies, and then you can go single leg going all the way down or double leg going all the way down. Either way, stay safe, train within your pain threshold, don't push it too far, but be consistent with this stuff. I guarantee you'll see results. Again, if you have not gotten it yet, you're trying to navigate exercise, the disc bulge, you have pain, you have symptoms, you're scared to death, but you're cleared to exercise. I've got a free blueprint cheat sheet guide that you can take right now, read through it, apply it to all of the videos that are gonna come out in this series. This is video number 2, and it's really gonna help you if you're trying to get back in the gym safely, build strength, and get out of pain. Go get it. It's at fitnessforbackpain.com/pain-free training. Thanks again, guys, and I will see you on the next episode.